Jalen Hurts can only run one offense. I'm gonna just stop doing intros, bro. It's no point. Y'all ruin them every time.
Find that here, 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 and here. I've been talking.
Vic, this is Paul. You used my club for to freak off. It's only a matter of time before them white women from Yo Freak Off pop out pregnant. You had the time of Yo L.
Have been wrong about Jalen Hurts plenty of times before. You can find that here, 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 and here. I've been talking about him for his entire career. However, I think I'm ultimately gonna be right. I've talked about his struggles throwing over the middle, his over-reliance on deep fade balls, and scrambling out of the pocket too early. And then what happened? 3 Pro Bowls, 2 Super Bowls, and a ring. So, I am wrong. But things in Philadelphia have slowly gotten weirder and weirder. A.J. Brown, one of the best receivers in the league, is gone, and this feels like Hurts' last season in Philly if he doesn't succeed. What's strange is his surface level stats were pretty good this past season. 25 touchdowns was a career high, QB rating was high too, but then we dive into his advanced stats. His expected points added per play was the lowest in his career, and both his pass and rush EPA were career lows as well. The problem with this Eagles offense isn't easy.
25 touchdowns is a career high. Gee. I mean, they have a lot of rushing touchdowns. Yeah. Reason.
To dissect.
I did.
There are multiple problems, multiple issues that by themselves aren't that bad, but together all lead to an offense completely filled with rot. Defenses realize
I'm gonna do that later though.
If they played tons of man coverage against Jalen and challenged him to beat him, he couldn't do it despite his elite receiving core. They realize if they blitzed him, he can't scramble because it'll clog up the running lanes. With the new defensive meta shifting towards 2 high safeties, the spread offense the Eagles deploy, their deep passing game started to die. Yes, Jalen kinda struggles over the middle, and the coaching was horrible. The issues I just laid out go in a lot of different directions, but when you see how each one connects to the last, each piece will come together to paint the picture of the absolute dysfunction we've witnessed. The jump in man coverage percentage is a good place to start. According to Fantasy Points data, Hurts' man coverage face jumped all the way to 27.1%, 13th highest in the league, and let me tell you why this is surprising. Typically, you'd have to be crazy to match A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, Dallas Goedert with just one guy one-on-one in man coverage. Very rarely are defenses going to have enough quality coverage guys to match each of these dudes in man, so the only plausible explanation as to why Hurts saw so much man is a league doesn't trust him to make the throws to beat it. In the wildcard 23-19 home loss to the injury-riddled 49ers, they still played a ton of one-on-one, but Hurts finished with just 168 passing yards. Here's an example of these struggles where the Eagles are running a variation of 4 verticals. They have 2 vertical seams inside, but instead of 2 verticals outside, they have hitches. The 49ers are playing man coverage just one-on-one. Jalen, we are putting Diamador Lenore on A.J. Brown, Renardo Green on Devontae Smith, and here's one of the many problems. Dallas Goedert torches the safety up the seam. 4 verticals is always read 1 to 2, but Jalen, as I said, struggles targeting things over the middle, and while he does complete the pass, he's almost dirting this ball to Brown. So then it's 2nd and 2 when they don't gain any yards, 3rd and 2, now 4th and 2, and while of course you want to defend the sticks, look at how close the 49ers secondary is to the line of scrimmage. They are not worried about these elite receivers at all. Like, these are great receivers in our league, one of the best 1-2 tandems in the entire NFL, yet the 49ers feel comfortable pushing everybody up to defend him, daring Hurts to beat him with a throw, and he can't. It was tons of man coverage, press man coverage against A.J. Brown, with cornerbacks who have practically done nothing in the league. The 49ers said, Jalen, we are not scared of you at all, and they showed it to him by blitzing him a ton. Actually, the entire league blitzed him 39%, which was 4th highest in the league, and the reason defenses blitzed him so much was twofold. When you're playing one-on-one coverage, you have an extra defender, I call him a joker. You can use him to either double somebody, play too deep, play a middle zone. Well, since defenses felt so comfortable just matching everybody in man, they felt comfortable blitzing Hurts and applying a little extra pressure. The other thing blitzing him does is limits his scramble ability, because it clogs up one more gap than if you would just rush the typical 4. Hurts scrambled just 11 times when blitzed, scrambled 29 times when he wasn't, and scrambling has always been one of the biggest parts of his game. Another thing that's always driven me crazy about him is when teams don't blitz him, don't get any pressure on him. This offensive line has been so good for so long that Hurts is given this crazy luxury to sit in the pocket unbothered, but at times he'll scramble, or want to scramble, when he should instead sit in the pocket and pick apart the defense. This has always been an issue, because at times he's turning down a big pass down the field that's wide open for an 8-yard scramble or check down, so while his numbers then will look good, there's always a lot of meat left on the bone on film. Another gigantic problem is that the game is slowly shifting away from Hurts' style of play. One of my main issues with him in the past has always been that his game was only deep go balls outside, was damn good at it, but that's it. Then he would scramble and would utilize the QB run game. The Eagles have used a more college-like spread system to put their awesome receivers in as much space as possible, so Hurts could hit AJ Brown deep down the sideline, and then also with the defense all spread out, the QB run game becomes more effective with less guys in the box. But now that defenses have shifted to 2 wide safeties, this takes away the outside goal balls since there's more help over the top, and for whatever reason, the Eagles limited Hurts' QB-designed rush attempts. In 2024, he had 73. This past year, that number slipped all the way down to 47. Hurts wasn't utilizing one of his greatest assets, and so the Eagles' offense wasn't as effective. One of the downfalls of the spread system overall is defenses can dictate where the offense is going with the ball. Philosophically, the spread system is all about winning with numbers, not necessarily getting your best player, AJ Brown, the ball. Like here, watch how the Chiefs dictate this ball going to AJ Dillon, with these 3 matched here and these 2 matched here. And by the way, this side is AJ and Devontae Smith. Hurts is simply reading Drew Tranquill to see where he goes. Since the spread system is all about numbers, Hurts is coached not to throw to where the defense has numbers, so since Tranquill sits for the dragon concept to the bottom, this is one less target for AJ Brown to ball out with. This could potentially be remedied with a better coaching staff, but as everybody knows,
it's just the thing about Hurts is I just feel like he don't like he try but he don't try, if that makes sense. I don't know how to explain. Like he good, but he pull it out whenever he needs to. I don't know if that didn't make sense.
Kevin Patullo, Hitches himself, was horrible. He consistently put his players in bad positions by messing up the tiny details and played his part in screwing up an extremely talented roster. Check out this play where instead of Dallas Goedert shooting outside of the motion, he hesitates. This is likely installed by Patullo to mess with the man coverage, but watch how this hesitation trips Jordan Mailata, so instead of pass protection, it creates instant pressure. Or there was this one where Hurts sees the defensive coverage pre-snap, the Bears are trying to make it look like cover 4 quarters, but at the same time, a tell for cover 0 is when the quarterback sees what coaches call birds on a wire. These guys have to be super flat because everybody's blitzing, and they're going to have to charge down for man coverage, and Hurts correctly identifies it's cover 0. He knows these 2 deep defenders are one-on-one against Devontae Smith and Jahan Dotson, so we can shred them. Since cover 0 has an extra free runner, Hurts knows he has to get rid of the ball quickly, but watch how Devontae sees the Bears are banjoing the coverage, meaning the inside defender is taking the most inside guy, which appears to be Dotson, so Devontae starts running fast across the field, but Hurts thinks he's going to sit down to beat the quick blitz. Neither of them are technically wrong here, the problem is, they are not on the same page. Lastly, the whole Hurts can't throw over the middle thing is slightly overblown. There are plenty of examples of him completing passes here. You can see dudes posting it on Twitter. It's here, it's on film. But I think the main problem is that the Eagles heard the outside noise and started to force it a bit to prove Hurts could do it, instead of letting it happen naturally, cause he will miss reads over the middle. Overall, he's just not a consistently competent drop-back passing quarterback, and the Eagles showed that by having him repeatedly hand the ball off on 3rd and 10 plus. A few weeks ago, we talked about tractor versus
3rd and 10?
Trailer for quarterbacks. Hurts is a trailer, not a tractor. He is a piece of the puzzle. He is not the main guy everybody else can follow behind. He can't carry a team on his shoulders. And now that the coaching and talent have started to slip, he's been exposed. The rot of this offense that we talked about is an indictment on the Jalen Hurts style of offense. The spread him out, run the ball, throw deep bombs outside. But now that defenses have started playing 2-eye safeties, utilize man coverage and blitzing, he can't throw deep effectively, he can't scramble, and this offense imploded. Add in Patullo goofing, and their offensive efficiency fell off even more. To get to the truth of the matter, what's happening right now, the Eagles have given up on the Jalen Hurts offense. They brought in Sean Mannion, a Shanahan system, with a more under-center, motion, zone running type style scheme. The Eagles realize that Hurts might not be the guy, and for the first time are putting him in an offense that isn't tailored to him. They're implementing their own offense now to see if Jalen fits into it. He's never been a prototypical quarterback, so I'll be surprised if he works in this new system. And now that A.J. Brown is gone, one of the best receivers in the league, we'll see if Devontae can step up, but I just do not see this offense improving. I talked about Hurts' struggles for years and incorrectly predicted his downfall. What I believe that's happened is an abnormally talented roster and offensive line boosted him up for a couple years, and the Eagles as an organization were functional enough to put him in the right system. But at the same time, Jalen Hurts has had massive success in the NFL, way more than a million other NFL quarterbacks, so maybe he'll prove me wrong again. While it appears the Eagles are slowly shifting away from him, and this could be the season from hell, this is
the Eagles move away from fucking Jalen Hurts, nigga. That city's gonna be in shambles.
a man who's proven me wrong time and time again. So maybe this year, he will do it once again.
Yeah, they do that. That city's gonna be, yeah. Yeah, don't do that.